closer look at Beryl, again, still just a tropical storm. It's got 65-mile-per-hour winds, 75-mile-per-hour gusts. So the gusts are hurricane strength, just not those sustained winds. You know what that means, unfortunately? I hate this graphic. It's gross, but we got to talk about it. The skeeters are going to come out heading into later this week. We're going to start to see a transition from regular rain, where our temperatures are not freezing at the surface, to freezing rain in those places where the surface temperatures are below freezing.
We do have, I'm going to pick up here, some seaweed. This is one thing that you'll also notice at the beaches this weekend. It's not going to harm you, but as it sits in the sun, it is going to maybe start to smell. From about Corpus Christi Bay northward up to north of Matagorda Bay, we're saying that is in our act stage now, with those mandatory and voluntary evacuation orders being issued. So you can see how it's kind of making this bowing structure, kind of that almost U shape. It's bent. That's because there's a lot of strong winds coming in through the back of it. So that's why this is getting warm circulation around this area. I'm going to pause that so you can see that's kind of the towards and away from the radar that I'm seeing right here. So again, not a warning out for this just yet. That would be in moderate flood stage, which is at 14 feet. It's already over that, right around 14.6 feet. So it is going to go up by about another half foot. We talked about over the past couple of days, you have to have the freezing surface temperatures in order for that rain falling to stick and become freezing rain. Otherwise, it's just patchy rain. If we see more of this dust come in, that could impact our rain chances and make them a little bit lower. Either way, you've got dust and rain. You're going to need a car wash at the end of this coming week. What do you say we go inside and take a look at some of these plates?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they've got all different kinds of options, like you said. And you mentioned something about crab cakes too,
Yes.
right?
The farther inland that you go, the colder it's expected to be, to the point where we could see a very, very brief hard freeze in some low-lying locations across our northern counties. So make sure you're protecting those 4 Ps. This is what happens when you leave your windows unprotected. There's glass everywhere. It's shattered. That's going to go into your home, as well as rain and debris. Usually they're just EF1, EF0, and again, they're found in those outer rain bands, like these little red dots right here, and that is what we are getting right now. You can see these two little areas, the little spin-ups. That's what the Weather Service has been watching and what we are keeping our eyes on as well. You have a mixture of winds already coming down and air that's being cooled off, wanting to sink. So you're getting a big gust of wind at the surface. That's why this is getting pushed out. But this on the left side to the right side is the oldest to newest plot. So you can see even within a couple days of this making landfall, we're still seeing that march eastward.
Heading into this weekend, lots of folks at the beach, not all of them are going to be familiar with things like the beach flags and rip currents. So we thought, why not talk to the experts? I'm joined here by Joey Farah, one of the lifeguards here in Port Aransas. Hey there, Crystal Ben. We have a gorgeous sunrise starting behind me from our tower cam. Just look at all those colors, and we can actually see it this morning. There isn't fog in the way, and we have temperatures right now that are even cooler than we were yesterday. So right now we're sitting in the 50s. We have great visibility and lower dew points. So it feels good. It looks good. It is good outside. It's the last Friday before winter break for KIII-ISD. So if you're sending the kids off to school or you're just heading out to work yourself, you're probably going to want a jacket this morning. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s across the area right now. And with lots of sunshine today, we're going to get into the low 70s across the coastal bend, 60s right at the immediate coast. But if you enjoy this weather, really savor it today. We have temperatures getting into the 80s as early as tomorrow and just staying there for the rest of the 7-day forecast. That's going to be courtesy of not only upper level high pressure, which we'll talk about in a sec, but this warm front. It's going to come back to the north and revisit us, bringing a little bit more humidity, and you can see that with our morning temperatures going back up into the 60s, but also with that 10-degree temperature jump in the afternoons. We're also going to go back to seeing areas of fog, especially once we head into
into tomorrow night and I think into Sunday night as that humidity increases. So I mentioned the high pressure that is going to come right on top of Texas and settle on us for not only part of next week, but really throughout the majority of the week. So that's keeping us nice and sunny. We'll see a couple of clouds and a really low rain chance on Monday, but overall it does set us up for a nice forecast for the holiday, but it does mean temperatures are going to be a lot warmer than normal. We're going to generally be in those 80s, and we're going to stay there probably throughout the rest of the year, honestly. What this graphic shows is a really high probability of our temperatures being above normal. So for us here in Corpus Christi, what that means is temperatures in the morning above the upper 40s, low 50s, and afternoon temperatures above the upper 60s and low 70s. And as you can see, we are right in the middle of where that high pressure is sitting, and that's where this temperature outlook is focused, those warmest temperatures, and that does include Christmas, unfortunately. So pretty much the entirety of the 7-day forecast is looking like this: high temperatures in the 80s and lows in the 60s. The exception to that is going to be today. We've got high temperatures in the 70s across the area, again 60s right at the immediate coast, and we'll start to notice throughout today and into tonight those winds shifting to a more onshore direction, bringing in more humidity and slightly warmer temperatures into tomorrow morning, but still on the chilly side. You're probably going to want a jacket if you are out and about early on Saturday morning, maybe getting that last minute Christmas shopping done. Sunday is the first day of winter, not going to feel like it at all. We've got temperatures in the 80s, and it stays there all the way through the Christmas holiday.